Hi, Fems. Happy Wednesday. I am so excited for our Business for Your Soul today, our series today. I am Violette de Ayala, the founder of FemCity, and today I have Chelsea Jennette. She's actually the founder of Charlie Madeline. So I was going to tell you this in the green room, Chelsea. I'm so excited. So I was doing my research today, looking you up. I do that at the beginning, like a couple of weeks or months ago before we booked it. And then I do it like right before. And I see that your store is in Raleigh, and I see that it's in Cameron Street. Is it Cameron Village?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So I lived in Raleigh for 12 years. I literally lived on Clark Avenue, just down the street from your shop. I owned a house in historic Oakwood.
Oh my goodness.
First Pilates studio. So I owned a Pilates studio when I lived in Raleigh, was right at 5 Points on Fairview and Glenwood. And actually our first house was on Glenwood, right there by 5 Points. So when I saw your address today, I was like, oh my gosh, she's a Raleigh girl. And it's Cameron Street. I'm like, that has to be Cameron Village. So I'm so excited that I'm like kind of connected to you already.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so excited. Oh, that's so cool. Small world, right?
Small world. Small world. So for those that are joining us, feel free to join in the conversation if you're watching us live on Facebook or on YouTube. I'm going to, oh my gosh, so Nicole, of course you did, lived on Chamberlain Street, just down, I know exactly where that is, 2 minutes from the CV.
Yes. Oh, so cool. All the North Carolinian friends.
Yes. Yeah. 2 of my 3 kids were born in Raleigh. They were born at Rex Hospital. So Rex Hospital? Yeah, that's what it's called. So
right on 5.
Yeah. My husband went to NC State. I mean, we could do a whole Raleigh show. I could tell you where to meet. So,
so cool. Did you go to undergrad in Raleigh?
My husband did his undergrad in Raleigh.
He did. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, so cool.
So funny. Anyway, all right. So let's get back into inspiring our audience. So today I'm going to interview this beautiful woman, and my intention is to inspire you, to motivate you to move forward in your dreams, and of course get to know her as well. Anything you want to share about yourself, Chelsea, before we kind of dig into the interview?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I live in Sanford, which is nobody knows where Sanford is. It's a small town. But you did, yeah. But it's So I live in North Carolina, and I am married to my high school sweetheart, and we have two girls that are twins, named Charlie and Madeline, and I'm excited to be here. That's just a little bit. I'll dig in a little deeper with it.
Awesome. So you own a retail store in Raleigh. I took a look at the website. It's an interesting blend because you're combining faith and spirituality with your brand. Of course, FemCity does the same. We our slogan is business for your soul. We are a little woo-woo over here. We talk a lot about, woo-woo stuff, in addition to obviously business trends and personal development. How did you come up with this idea to start this business? I'm interested to hear that.
Yeah. So I actually started a blog in 2017 called A Fashionable Believer. And that's where I combed through my two passions, faith and fashion. I combed them together, and with hopes to encourage my audience to walk this world through faith and fashion, and to walk it confidently. And it was in that world, in that journey that I absolutely loved it, and I found that people were encouraged by it and excited about it, and so that allowed me to I call it a God nudge. Is when I felt felt that I needed to open a boutique, and so we launched in June of 2020. Oh my goodness! Mm-hmm. And so we launched online, and we went to and then we opened a storefront in November of the latter part of 2020, and so I had no idea that we would be in a storefront. That's always my goal, always my dream. Actually, when we launched online, I drove past Cameron Village, and I just I was like, I hope I'm here one day. And that's how God works. He just does exceedingly and abundantly. So we've been open ever since. And we've been going, and it's so exciting. And I'm just so grateful and overwhelmed with the support.
Awesome. That's such a beautiful story. I was so interested because when I started FemCity, I remember I was actually in Raleigh when we came up with, I used to go there. We used to have a really big Raleigh chapter run by one of my high school friends, Annie Fried, who's amazing. And I remember I was there. We had like maybe 100 women for dinner at the FemCity Raleigh event. And they asked what the new slogan was. And I remember saying the slogan was going to be business for your soul. And I remember one of our very active members said, wow, you're really putting it out there, Violet, like business for your soul. That's really putting you out there. And I thought, yeah, but that's who we are. You know, we talk a lot about woo-woo and all that stuff. And so I think it's made a huge difference to be in that niche. So I'm excited for you that you created that niche and you moved forward. You just started it. I was going to ask you if you thought you'd have all this success, but you just started a couple of months ago. How has it been going through all the pandemic and it's just so many things to, and you're still here, you're doing successful things, you're doing amazing things. How's that been?
It has been quite a journey. 2020 was unplanned. And a lot of the events were unplanned. I definitely didn't have this on, a couple of the events that happened, didn't have that on my vision board when I planned to launch Charlie Madeline. It's been quite a journey. A lot of excitement, a lot of fear, a lot of, should I do this or should I not? A lot of that, still doing that today. That doesn't go away. But it's been such a great opportunity. I never thought that I would be a boutique owner or have my own boutique. I remember going to other boutiques and like, this is amazing. This is awesome. And I've always loved clothes. I've always loved sharing my journey about being a believer. And I never would have thought that I would have been able to have this, be able to talk about it day to day with customers coming in or whoever I chat with online or through social media. It's been such a blessing. And I'm just so grateful. And it has definitely been a learning experience.
I can imagine. You have some love coming through. Lisa Middleton. I believe Lisa is in our Philadelphia chapter. So congratulations. Of course, Nicoa said go Wolfpack. She had to add that South Carolina, Raleigh. So what, my next question is really to inspire others that may be in the same situation where they started a business last year. Unforeseen things happened, obviously 2020, the pandemic. What were some things that didn't go as planned? And then how did you get back on track? So when you do have those thoughts of like, oh my gosh, is this crazy? Do I do this? What was that thinking process like? And again, my intention is to help others that are going through that right now to find a solution or find the belief in themselves to continue on this journey that they really feel so aligned with.
Absolutely. I was when I thought of Charlie Madeline, when the plan came to life, or when I was in the process of executing Charlie Madeline, I wanted you have to have clothes to have a boutique, or at least if you're in the clothing boutique industry. And so we planned to go to market and all of the fun things that is part of the industry. And so I was able to go to the January market in 2020 and also the March market. But April was the market that I was planning to go to actually get inventory. I was scoping out the other times I went. And so April was the time was when everything closed down. And so I wasn't able to go to market and touch the things and check the quality and all of the things that make market. And so that definitely threw quite a wrench in my journey in getting inventory. And so I had to be creative. I had to be adaptive and think outside the box a little bit as to, I know I want to provide quality clothing and I have a specific brand, like a specific look I wanted. And so I had So I talked to showrooms and vendors that I liked and asked if I could do some virtual training or if they could do virtual showing. And that was pretty successful. That's kind of how I've been getting all of my inventory thus far. So to that point, it would just be being creative and kind of being adaptive to the world that we're living in right now. A lot of things are virtual. And so just not letting that be a sign that it's not for you, because it absolutely is for you. You just have to go another way. And I just find that's the beauty of owning a business or, prospering in your career, is just learning different ways to make things work. And so definitely that would be one of the things I learned. I'm learning, still learning. But also we had planned a launch party for our launch in June. And then again, things were just opening back up, but not enough where everybody was comfortable. And so we had to think outside the box a little bit. And so it's like, I need people to see these clothes and get excited. So, we did a fashion show, but it was through our social media. So we did Instagram Live, a fashion show / a launch. And it seemed really successful. People really liked that. And also people were like, I need some fun and some excitement. So it just seemed to be timely. But just trying to thinking outside the box, being creative and kind of adapting to the current climate that we live in, and not saying no, because if you are starting out opening a business, don't let the current situation stop you. Anything can happen, and you can make anything happen. It's just it may look a little different than what you thought it would.
I love that. So Lisa says, I love her enthusiasm. I agree. And I think that your attitude and your energy really what I'm feeling is that you're just so focused. And like, I suspect you're the type of person that if you even had a thought, you'd be like, no, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to push forward. And I love that. And I think that's something that if someone's watching or listening right now and they're kind of feeling like that, and that feeling like they don't know if they should move forward, think about that energy and that focus and that drive to make sure it's in alignment to what you want. But if it's in alignment, if that is your purpose, find that drive to keep on going and do not give up. I love, FemCity talks a lot about purpose-driven businesses and brands, and we're all about making a difference. I also read on your website today, as I was preparing, that you do have a purpose also where you donate certain amount to a cause that you really are so passionate about. Share a little bit about that and how it kind of bridged together.
Right. Yeah. So just to back up a little bit about Charlie Madeline, that will help with the kind of the journey about our cause. So Charlie and Madeline are my twin daughters, and they serve as to us, to my husband and I, that the best is yet to come, and having faith and having hope. My husband and I had a 1.5-year fertility journey before we were able to conceive Charlie and Madeline. And so to us, they serve as hope and faith. And we want everyone that comes to Charlie Madeline, whether it's in store or online, we want them to feel the hope and feel faith, and that brighter days are on their way. So to that point, Charlie Madeline has a program called Fertility Believers. And so each month we select a couple that either they're in the midst of fertility treatments or just starting out. While we donate a percentage of our funds for that month to their cause. We know that going through a fertility journey, there's so many things, and it impacts your health, it impacts your financially, and emotionally and mentally, and we want to help in some regards. So we hope that we hope to serve as a blessing to others. So we've been able to sponsor 4 or 5 couples so far, and it's been such an opportunity. It's such a blessing to be able to help others.
I love that. I have chills all over. I have so many friends that have gone through that, and I know everything you said. It is emotionally, it is spiritually, it is financial. It is so many things that really are hard on those that are trying to conceive and going through alternate routes and trying to get there, so they can also receive those blessings that you have mentioned through little children, through little kids. So what would you say to a femme that's actually watching or listening later on and saying, I don't know if I should keep on going. I had this idea, the pandemic, it kind of like things are a little bit, what would you say to that femme that's kind of struggling right now?
Yeah. what comes to my heart immediately is that feeling that, well, the reason why you want to create it, why you want to create that business or that plan or that whatever that is for you, there's a reason for that. And I would just remember that and keep it inside your heart or write it down, because you'll have to go back to those times. You'll have to go back to those days of your reason why. Why did I do this? What's my passion? What's the reason behind this? And so I would just remember that and just go forward and just launch and just start. There are so many things that you may want it to look this certain way or have these certain things before, but that will come. Just do it. I'm going to take the Nike approach, the Nike slogan, and literally just do it, because the opportunities, once you activate that faith, you'll reap things that you never would have seen for yourself. So I would just suggest to everyone watching, just go for it and just don't stop. Just keep going.
I love that. The why is so important. And I love that you mentioned that you'll writing it down, because you'll have to go back to it. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a feeling where women see other women succeeding and they're like, oh, they probably don't have those conversations anymore. They probably don't have to remember their why. But the truth is that it's part of the journey as we elevate and we become more successful, and then we up level in many ways in our business. That conversation still shows up, and that you still have to revert back to it. So it's just part of the evolution. And I love that you share that honestly, because I think that's where a lot of times people give up, thinking that they're on their own. And the truth is you're not on your own, that you're not alone in that thinking process, that everyone has that along the way as well. So
absolutely. I've had to tell myself that quite a few times, and just a matter since June, but it's just, and that's fine. And that's so normal, I believe, but it's the moment, as you said, Violette, the moment that you pick yourself back up. And I just imagine like you picking yourself back up when you read that mission, or you activate that, like that passion, and just remember the feeling that you feel, and it will work out. It will work out.
Love that. We have a couple of members in our global program that do a lot of spiritual work. And they've all said that 2021 is really about connecting community and purpose and your why, and making a difference in this world and connecting it all. And I love how you've blended everything that you're passionate about into one thing. So I love that.
Violet, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. How can Fems find you if they want to learn more about the work that you're doing through your store?
Yeah. So we are online at charliemadeline.com. And then we also are on social media through Instagram, Charlie Madeline, all lowercase and underscore, where you can find us. And I look forward to connecting with everyone and talking a little bit further.
I love it. I love it. Your energy is amazing. I wish you so much success. I think it's going to be a great year for you. And thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us today and inspiring other femmes to keep on going and follow their dreams. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.